For nearly 30 years after World War II ended, a Japanese soldier remained hidden deep in the jungle, refusing to surrender. While the rest of the world rebuilt itself, while cities rose from ashes and entire generations moved on, he stayed behind with a rifle in his hands, convinced the war was still raging. His name was Hiroo Onoda, and his story feels less like history and more like psychological horror. In 1944, near the end of the war, Onoda was sent to Lubang Island in the Philippines. He was trained in guerrilla warfare, sabotage, and survival. Before leaving, his commanding officer gave him one final order: never surrender, never take your own life, and never stop fighting until a superior officer personally returned to relieve him. To most soldiers, it might have sounded symbolic. To Onoda, it became absolute law. Months later, Japan collapsed. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed by atomic bombs. Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender to the world. The deadliest war in human history was over. But deep in the jungles of Lubang Island, Onoda refused to believe it. Leaflets were dropped from planes announcing the war had ended. Newspapers were left behind. Letters from family members begged him to come home. But every message looked fake to him. He believed it was enemy propaganda designed to trick him into surrendering. Every sound in the jungle became proof that American forces were still hunting him. Every movement in nearby villages became evidence of an ongoing war. So he stayed hidden. Days became months. Months became years. The jungle slowly transformed him. His uniform rotted apart. His skin darkened under the tropical sun. His rifle rusted but still worked. He survived by stealing rice, killing cattle, and hiding in caves and thick vegetation. Sometimes he, and the few remaining soldiers with him, launched attacks on local villagers, believing they were enemy collaborators. To the people living there, the war had never truly ended, because somewhere in the jungle, armed ghosts were still fighting it. One by one, the men around him disappeared. Some surrendered. Some were killed. Eventually, Onoda was left alone, completely alone. Imagine the silence of that jungle. No cities, no radios, no certainty, just years of paranoia echoing through trees. Every sunrise began with the same belief: survive another day because the empire still needs you. By the 1960s, the world had changed beyond recognition. Humans had gone to space. New countries had been born. Television spread across homes worldwide. Entire generations grew up without memories of war. But Onoda knew none of it. His reality had frozen in 1945. He continued carrying out missions in his mind. He cleaned his weapon. He hid from search parties. He studied movement patterns near farms. Every time authorities tried to convince him the war was over, it only deepened his suspicion. Why would the enemy keep trying so hard unless the war still mattered? Years turned into decades. Then, in 1974, a young Japanese traveler named Norio Suzuki entered the jungle searching for three things: Lieutenant Onoda, a panda, and the abominable snowman. Amazingly, he found Onoda after just a few days. When the two men met, Suzuki told him the truth. Japan had surrendered nearly 30 years earlier. The world had changed,